From around the world and across the globe, from pole to pole and every millisecond of the 24-hour news cycle, this is Newsmasters. Today, has Facebook gone too far? A frank discussion of race, a cabinet member's shocking secret, and more. Now, here's your host, Billy Kimball.
This is Newsmasters, the public affairs show that's not afraid to say what everyone's thinking. Joining us for our spirited discussion here today, on my left, but from the right, Jerry Lang of the Washington Times and the Hoover Institute. On my right, Kevin Carmichael, a former speechwriter for Michael Dukakis and a contributing editor to The New Republic. Dr. Norman J. Ornstein is a resident scholar at the American Enterprise Institute and the most quoted man in Washington. Linda Buckman-Terry, a columnist for Newsweek magazine, and Linda also blogs about politics at her website, http://www.not-just-about-politics.com/8 and that is case sensitive, am I right?
Mm-hmm. And that redirects to DC Gal.
Very good. All right, our first topic today, Secretary of Defense Robert Gates announced this week that he will have a sex change operation and will in the future be known as Roberta Gates.
I'm doing everything in my power to ensure a smooth transition.
Linda, will having a sex change make the Secretary of Defense less effective in his office?
You know, it depends what kind of woman he becomes, right? So it's hard to call that until we see, you know, what is he like as a woman? Is he commanding? Or is he more of a mousy kind of wallflower?
Well, wait, hold on a second. It's not a mousy woman. I mean, come on.
Well, until you have the heels on, you know, it could be an entirely different animal.
I mean, it's important to remember that this kind of thing, this transgendered cabinet member thing, has been going on since the beginning. Justice Robert Cooper Geyer for President Buchanan, on through Stephen Douglas, the Bundys, all the way through Jody Powell.
Of course, this happens every day now, all over the place. Washington's hospitals are filled with political figures getting sex change operations, and we know about it now.
Well, is this overdue? Is it about time we had an openly transgendered cabinet member? There have been rumors about other cabinet, and I'm not going to say who they are because that's not what we do on this program.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, sometimes it is.
Well, we have done it. We have done it, and it's
and I just did
okay,
it.
and it's popular.
Moderate.
I know. Okay, but we're not going to do it in this particular case today. So what I'd like to is it about time, right?
I think he's smarter than people realize. I think this is symbolic alchemy, and I think he's sending a message to the country. Let's not just say we're going to change. Let's change.
Well, Jerry, give us a reality check here.
The military follow orders. They're going to do.
The military are going to get behind him on this. I don't think there's any question about that.
They're going to think it's weird. They are going to think it's weird.
But once it comes down to
it is weird.
It is weird, but
well, weird is it?
It's weird, but it's.
Get over it.
Yeah,
it's not weird
I'm
anymore.
over it.
For once, we see eye to eye.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean.
You see him in a dress, for example, and I see him in a pantsuit. You know, I think you're thinking too big with this. You're thinking too broad.
Then there's no doubt, I think in this case, that he'll be very attractive.
So I think what we would say to him is go slow. Don't get size double D breast implants. A little bulge up top is a way to start.
Okay, this is a very modest person.
That's
and
right.
He's not going to get 42 triple D, even when he leaves office. I mean, this guy's going to go for something more like a 34 B cup anyhow.
When you're talking bra sizes, it's the cup size is really.
Yeah.
What Jerry said is exactly right. The number simply is the circumference of the torso. So this, I mean, we're talking numbers. We're going down
So before we get all head up about that.
All right, well, let me ask you then, is it a good idea for someone who's just had their genitals removed and is taking powerful painkillers to have their finger on the button?
You know, it's actually a good point. Robert McNamara, back when he was Secretary of Defense, had adult circumcision which, as you know, is an extraordinarily painful operation.
Painful, but often necessary.
Well, he had to take substantial painkillers, and apparently that's one of the reasons we made several mistakes in Vietnam.
I'd rather him be on a handful of painkillers than in an incredible amount of pain.
I think that's right. What we want is we want a fully integrated personality who's psychologically healthy, who is at peace with himself making these kind of decisions, because you don't want him distracted in the middle of a cabinet meeting or an international crisis by these unfulfilled feelings that he is a woman living in a man's body.
Or the pangs of a phantom penis.
Gates is at an age where presumably he would be post-menopausal.
He'll be
but
past
I just
all
don't
that.
know, you know, or maybe menopausal.
Well, you do know that you get a sex change, you don't menstruate.
Right, but is he going to be having the hot flashes? Will these hormone changes create?
I mean, why doesn't he just
go
right
all
to
the way?
hysterectomy?
Yeah.
I think ultimately the American people want us to be a country where we are judged by the content of our character rather than the arrangement of our genital ensemble.
Content of our underpants.
Right, and that's I think where we should leave that.